EMT, or electrical metallic tubing, is a popular choice for protecting electrical wiring in buildings. It's a lightweight steel raceway that's easy to bend and cut, making it a versatile option for various applications. However, the increase in cost of steel has unfortunately led to the emergence of counterfeit EMT products. These fake EMT conduits can pose significant safety risks and compromise the integrity of electrical systems. Recognizing the signs of counterfeit EMT is crucial for preventing accidents and ensuring compliance with electrical codes. One common method used to create counterfeit EMT involves modifying readily available materials like rebar. Rebar, typically used for reinforcing concrete, is sometimes repurposed to mimic EMT. This involves drilling a hole through the center of the rebar and grinding off the ridges on the exterior. The modified rebar is then painted with aluminum spray paint to resemble the finish of genuine EMT. To further deceive consumers, counterfeiters may even steal labels from legitimate EMT products and apply them to the fake conduits. Several key characteristics can help you distinguish between genuine EMT and counterfeit products. Firstly, examine the surface finish closely. Genuine EMT typically has a smooth, consistent galvanized or zinc coating. Counterfeit EMT, especially if made from modified rebar, may have an uneven or rough surface finish. The aluminum spray paint used on fake EMT is often prone to chipping or scratching, revealing the underlying material. Secondly, pay attention to the weight and wall thickness of the EMT. Genuine EMT has a specific weight per unit length and a defined wall thickness, both of which are determined by industry standards such as those published by the National Electrical Manufacturers Association, or NEMA. Counterfeit EMT made from rebar may have a different weight and wall thickness than genuine EMT of the same nominal size. This difference can be subtle, but it's an important indicator. Thirdly, carefully inspect the markings and labels on the EMT. Legitimate EMT products are clearly marked with the manufacturer's name, the EMT size, the standard to which it complies, such as American National Standards Institute, or ANSI, SAE 2.3, and Underwriters Laboratories, or all listing information. Counterfeit EMT may have missing, incomplete, or poorly printed markings. The labels may appear to be tampered with or have inconsistent fonts and logos. If the label looks like it has been reapplied or doesn't adhere properly, it's a red flag. Fourthly, check the inside diameter of the EMT. Counterfeit EMT made from modified rebar may have an incorrect inside diameter. Use a caliper or other measuring tool to verify that the inside diameter matches the specified dimensions for the corresponding EMT size. A 5/8-inch rebar with a 0.622-inch hole drilled through it would be an example of a dimension that might be encountered when examining suspect materials. Fifthly, assess the overall quality and workmanship of the EMT. Genuine EMT is manufactured to precise tolerances and undergoes rigorous quality control. Counterfeit EMT may have inconsistencies in its shape, bends, and joints. The edges may be rough or uneven, and the conduit may not be perfectly round. Sixthly, consider the source of the EMT. Purchase EMT only from reputable suppliers and distributors. Be wary of unusually low prices, as this could be a sign of counterfeit product. If possible, obtain documentation from the supplier verifying the authenticity of the EMT. Seventhly, perform a simple test to check the conductivity of the EMT. Genuine EMT is an effective grounding conductor. Use a multimeter to measure the resistance between different points on the EMT. A low resistance indicates good conductivity, while a high resistance suggests a potential problem. Eighthly, compare the EMT to known samples of genuine EMT. If you have access to a sample of EMT that you know is authentic, compare it side by side with the suspect EMT. Pay attention to the color, finish, weight, and markings. Ninthly, if you suspect that you have encountered counterfeit EMT, report it to the authorities. Contact the manufacturer of legitimate EMT products and inform them of your findings. You can also report the incident to the Underwriters Laboratories, or other relevant regulatory agencies. Tenthly, it's important to remember that counterfeit EMT is a serious safety hazard. It may not provide adequate protection for electrical wiring, increasing the risk of electrical shock, fire, and equipment damage. Always exercise caution when handling electrical materials and ensure that they meet all applicable safety standards. In addition to visual inspection, destructive testing can also be used to verify the authenticity of EMT. Destructive testing involves cutting or otherwise damaging the EMT to examine its internal structure and material composition. While destructive testing is not practical for routine inspections, it can be a valuable tool for investigating suspected counterfeit products. One type of destructive test is a wall thickness measurement. Use a caliper or micrometer to measure the wall thickness of the EMT at several different locations. Compare the measured values to the specified wall thickness for the corresponding EMT size. Significant deviations from the specified wall thickness may indicate counterfeit EMT. Another destructive test is a material analysis. Send a sample of the EMT to a laboratory for material analysis. The laboratory can determine the chemical composition of the steel and verify that it meets the required specifications. Material analysis can also detect the presence of contaminants or impurities that may indicate counterfeit EMT. A third destructive test is a bend test. Subject the EMT to a bend test to assess its ductility and resistance to cracking. Genuine EMT should be able to withstand a certain amount of bending without fracturing. Counterfeit EMT made from inferior materials may crack or break prematurely. Furthermore, counterfeit electrical products in general pose a significant threat to safety and property. These products, which include not only EMT but also circuit breakers, fuses, and wiring devices, often fail to meet minimum safety standards and can lead to electrical fires, shocks, and equipment damage. The proliferation of counterfeit electrical products is driven by the desire for cost savings and the difficulty in distinguishing them from genuine products. Counterfeiters often use inferior materials and manufacturing processes, resulting in products that are unreliable and potentially dangerous. To combat the problem of counterfeit electrical products, it's essential to educate consumers and electrical professionals about the risks and how to identify fake products. Electrical inspectors, contractors, and distributors should be vigilant in their inspections and procurement practices to ensure that only genuine products are used in electrical installations. In addition to visual inspection and destructive testing, several other measures can be taken to prevent the use of counterfeit electrical products. Firstly, establish a rigorous supplier qualification process. Thoroughly vet all potential suppliers and distributors to ensure that they are reputable and reliable. Request documentation verifying the authenticity of the products they sell. Secondly, implement a robust quality control program. Regularly inspect electrical products upon delivery and during installation. Use calibrated measuring tools to verify dimensions and performance characteristics. Thirdly, provide training to electrical workers on how to identify counterfeit products. Conduct regular training sessions to educate workers about the risks of counterfeit products and how to spot them. Fourthly, establish a reporting system for suspected counterfeit products. Encourage electrical workers to report any suspected counterfeit products to their supervisors or to the relevant authorities. Fifthly, participate in industry initiatives to combat counterfeit products. Many industry organizations, such as the National Electrical Manufacturers Association, or NEMA, and the Underwriters Laboratories, or all have programs in place to combat counterfeit electrical products. Participate in these programs to stay informed about the latest trends and best practices. Sixthly, support legislation to strengthen enforcement against counterfeiters. Advocate for stronger laws and regulations to deter the manufacture and sale of counterfeit electrical products. Seventhly, use technology to track and trace electrical products. Consider using technologies such as barcoding, radio frequency identification, or RFID, and blockchain to track and trace electrical products throughout the supply chain. This can help to prevent counterfeit products from entering the market. Eighthly, raise awareness among consumers about the risks of counterfeit electrical products. Educate consumers about the dangers of using counterfeit electrical products and how to identify them. Encourage consumers to purchase electrical products only from reputable retailers. Ninthly, collaborate with law enforcement agencies to investigate and prosecute counterfeiters. report suspected counterfeiters to law enforcement agencies and cooperate with them in their investigations. 10thly, promote the use of certified electrical products. Encourage the use of electrical products that have been certified by recognized testing laboratories, such as Underwriters Laboratories, or All Canadian Standards Association, or CSA, or Intertek, or et al. Certified products have been tested and evaluated to meet specific safety standards. By taking these steps, we can help to protect ourselves, our families, and our communities from the dangers of counterfeit electrical products. Remember, electrical safety is everyone's responsibility.